Have you ever felt slightly different on a full moon night? Sleep becomes lighter, dreams become vivid, emotions feel closer to the surface. Across cultures and centuries, one quiet observation repeats itself. Something shifts when the moon is full. Poets called it romantic, mystics called it powerful. But yogis used a far less comforting phrase. They call it madness night. Not as superstition, not as drama, but as a precise warning. Stay with me till the end of this video because what you're about to understand will change the way you experience the next full moon and reveal why the mind becomes far more fragile under its glow than most people realize. The moon is not symbolic. The moon is not just glowing ornament in the sky. It moves oceans. Entire bodies of water rise and fall in response to its gravitational pull. Coastlines shift, tides surge and retreat with mathematical precision. Now consider something simple. The human body is more than 60% water. The brain itself is largely fluid. Yogis observed this long before instruments measured it. If the moon can move oceans, why would it leave the waters within you untouched? The effect is subtle. It does not throw you across the room. It does not visibly shake your body. But it adjusts internal pressure, and subtle pressure changes alter chemistry. The body responds quietly. The mind responds loudly. Hormones fluctuate in delicate cycles. Neurotransmitters regulate mood, sleep, and perception. These systems are exquisitely sensitive to internal balance. On a full moon, yogis noticed an amplification, not of behavior, but of tendencies. If anger exists, it intensifies. If anxiety exists, it sharpens. If joy exists, it brightens. If confusion exists, it multiplies. The moon does not create instability. It magnifies whatever is already present. This is why two people can experience the same night completely different. The moon does not disturb you. It simply reveals how stable you are. This is the key. A stable system experiences amplification as clarity. An unstable system experiences amplification as chaos. Yogis were not afraid of the moon. They were cautious of unprepared mind under amplification. Because when intensity rises, structure is tested. Why sleep becomes fragile? Have you noticed how full moon nights often disrupt sleep? Yogic science explains this not through superstition, but sensitivity. During sleep, your system relaxes into vulnerability. The nervous system shifts into repair mode. The mind loosens its grip on control. But under lunar amplification, the system becomes slightly more alert, even without danger. The body senses subtle internal movement. The brain remains lightly activated. Sleep becomes thin, and when sleep awakens, emotional stability weakens within it. Even today, many emergency rooms quietly report unusual spikes during full moon nights. Conflicts escalate faster. Psychological episodes intensify. Accidents increase. Science debates whether this is statistical bias. Yogis were less interested in statistics. They were interested in experience. When amplification meets unresolved tension, behavior follows. Madness is rarely sudden. It is accumulated instability given volume. Interestingly, yogis did not avoid full moon nights. They used them rather than surrendering to unconscious sleep. They remained alert. They practiced breath regulation. They heightened awareness. Why? because amplification can work in two directions. If unconscious increases, chaos rises. If awareness increases, perception deepens. Full moon nights become opportunity for acceleration, but only for those prepared. There is another layer. The full moon is complete, unhidden, fully illuminated. Yogis often describe it as a mirror. On these nights, suppressed emotions surface more easily. Memories feel closer. Loneliness feels sharper. Desire feels heavier. It is not the moon planting new thoughts. It is the mind losing its usual filters. And when the filters thin, what was hidden becomes visible. For some, that visibility feels like insight. For others, it feels like madness. Why balanced people feel bliss instead? Here is the paradox. For deeply balanced individuals, full moon nights can feel profoundly peaceful. Breath becomes softer, meditation deepens effortlessly, awareness expands naturally because when amplification meets structure, it produces radiance. A still lake reflects the full moon beautifully. A turbulent lake shatters its reflection. The moon remains the same. The surface determines the experience. Why yogis use the word madness? The word was intentional. It was not meant to frighten, it was meant to rewind. Madness in yogic language means loss of inner alignment. On full moon nights, alignment is tested. Small cracks widen. Hidden tensions surface. Unresolved emotions demand attention. Calling it Madness Night was a way of saying, be aware, be conscious, do not drift. So, why did yogis call full moon nights Madness Nights? Because the moon amplifies whatever you carry within. If you are scattered, it reveals your chaos. If you are centered, it reveals your clarity. The next time the sky is fully illuminated, don't blame the moon for what you feel. Observe yourself. If this video changed the way you see lunar cycles, share it with someone who dismisses them as myth. Like the video if you ever felt different under a full moon.